This is May 2023. May was insane. This month changed my life in so many ways, some very expected ways, some unexpected ways. It was just crazy. So highlights of May, there were just so many fun moments that weren't huge life events that were really special. Just finishing high school in general was definitely the biggest thing that happened, obviously. But for highlights, it was just a beautiful month. There were some high highs and low lows, but overall, just spending time with friends on my school's campus, spending like over 12 hours a day the last week of school, all that type of stuff, just made May so special. One of the really fun things about the month of May in my family is that both my Nana and my dad have their birthday right at the beginning of May. So we always celebrate those, which is just very fun. And I filmed it just because I like to document grandparent birthdays and fun stuff like that. So in this video, I'm going to give just highlights of different stuff because I'm actually going to make an entirely separate video about the last week of school and graduation and that whole thing because it's just a really big life event and I want to have a separate video for that. So this is just May highlights. So the biggest thing I'm going to highlight in this video is the end of my senior outdoor track season because that was just crazy and really cool and I'm very happy with how it ended, and luckily thanks to my mom filming everything, I have lots of footage. So this track season for me, of course I wrote a blog post all about it as usual, but this track season to me was really like a revenge tour season because cross country didn't end quite the way I wanted it to, and I actually took off the indoor track season this year to go to some doctor's appointments and figure out different medical stuff that I had going on. So I came into outdoors with some big dreams, but I also was just happy to be there and be healthy. So having just a good, healthy experience was my priority, but I was also hoping to improve because last outdoor season I was not really satisfied with everything I accomplished, so I kind of had some big boxes to check, and it ended up really well. I was able to PR in all three events, the 800 mile and 2 mile, which was kind of not a surprise, but a surprise by how much I PR'd by, which was really cool.
Alright, Edie, you just finished your AP exam. Rushed here, how you feeling? Good, ready to go? Ready. Alright. She's got really
and just had some really cool big meet experiences. We placed well at different invitationals and won different races, so overall it was a really great experience, and it was also just really special to have the last season of being an independent athlete and not having a team, which is hard, but it means that my parents are my coaches, so this was the last season in which I got to enjoy just it being like the three of us as a team and my parents as my coaches and just having a good time with that. So bittersweet for sure, but I'm very happy with how it ended. So I ended the season with PRs of 2:33 in the 800, 5:25 in the 1600 mile, and 11:24 in the 2 mile. So overall, I am very satisfied with that and excited for college racing.
Relax.
high school practice run, technically.
Here we go.
Alright, Edie, any final thoughts?
I'm excited to have One of the biggest highlights of May was like one of the most confusing things that's ever happened in my life and one of the most exciting things. So May 2nd, I did my college athletic signing. So I signed for cross country and track to Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia, which I am insanely excited for. But the day after my college signing, I found out that I had gotten accepted into University of the Arts London, which I applied to back in the fall with all of my other schools, and really just like I applied to a bunch of reach schools just because I knew I'd live the rest of my life wondering if I would have gotten in. Even if I didn't go there, I just wanted to know. And I really didn't get into like many reach schools, which was kind of expected, like it's whatever. I'm really happy with where I'm going, and where I'm going is kind of my dream school, so it's all good. But one of the places I applied was University of the Arts London because, for context, UAL, they call it UAL, is the #1 undergraduate art school in the world. It's like a really low acceptance rate, like really low, and it's literally #1 undergrad art school in the world. So the day after I signed to my dream school in the US, I found out that I got into that crazy prestigious school. So I only told like a few people in my life at the time, and I just debated for weeks about whether I should go to SCAD or UAL because both were incredible opportunities, and I just could not decide. I was asking for so many people's advice because it felt like I wouldn't make a mistake either way, but it was just such a massive decision. Like, do I move to London alone at 17? Like, I did not know what to do. In a different life, if I had found out earlier, I would probably be going to UAL, but just given everything that had happened, I'm super happy to go to SCAD. And the nice thing is I can still apply to UAL for grad school and say, hey, I got in for undergrad, so like, it all works out. And there's just this disbelief of like, I'm like good enough for that? Like, what? I somehow, still part of me like doesn't believe that I'm like quite good enough for that, even though I have such big dreams. So that was a crazy thing. So I had to film my college decision with one of my best friends who was filming it for our school TV. So I literally filmed, I hadn't decided at the time, I filmed 2 different college decisions. One where I said I'm going to SCAD and one where I said I'm going to UIL, and I said later you have to pick. Like whichever one I chose will be streamed to the school for TV. So that was a really funny moment. Okay, so for Greer TV, I have to announce a college decision, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm gonna say both, and we're gonna see which comes true. Cam is here with me. Say hi. I'm Edie Manfred, and I'm going to Savannah College of Art and Design to run cross-country and track and study documentary photography. I'm Edie Manfred, and I'm going to University of the Arts London to study documentary photography and photojournalism. I don't know which is right. That's weird. And that was just like such a big debate. Like, that was one of the defining factors of May, was just debating where to go to college even though I had already signed. So I actually went to 2 proms in May, which is really cool. I went to my boyfriend's prom, prom #1, which was kind of like a dress rehearsal for mine because I got to dress up and everything, but I didn't really know anyone, and I got to just be kind of anonymous and just have a good time with him. So that was really special, and we had a picnic beforehand, and it was really cool. Alright, I am on my way to Chad's prom! Woo! Let's go.
Little bitty pretty one, come on and talk to me. Lovey, lovey, lovey one, come down on my knees.
I'm just gonna give highlights of the rest of the stuff because it'll all be in the next video, so stay tuned for that. But my school's prom was really cool. The last week of school was crazy packed with senior activities and different just really cool events. So tons of stuff happened there. Graduation went really well. Candlelight ceremony the night before was awesome. Overall, those are just like the biggest moments of high school, obviously. And so they all went pretty smoothly to plan. The only thing that didn't was that I got strep throat the last week of school, so that sucked. Getting strep the last week of school was definitely not ideal. But overall, it was a really great week and graduation went well. So that's the end of May. So that's all the highlights of May, and there will be more details on like graduation in the next video, but it was just a life-changing month. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.